Hi, this is Denise Mathew, and today I'm going to make these, I guess you could call them an infinity post earring with a crystal. Now, they're very, very simple to make. The only thing you're going to need is you're going to need some backings, which I have. I have a silicone backing here. I got this at an online bead store, and they're really inexpensive. They're great to have on hand. You can even wear these with hooks to keep for added protection if you prefer. Or if you want, you can just steal a pair of butterfly backs from another pair of earrings. You will need to have a round bead. These are 8mm AB crystals. I have done one with a pearl as well. And if you notice, I made the coil bigger on this one than I did on this one, and that's because you'll want to match your coils up to the size of the bead you're using. So let's get started. I've already made one earring, so I'm just going to make another earring exactly the same way. I'm going to work off the spool. I'm working with a 20 gauge wire. You could go up to a 22, but I wouldn't go much smaller than that because your earring may be a little floppy. I suggest that you use either a half hard wire or your wire straightening pliers to make it a little stiffer for when you're working with it, because you're going to have, this is going to be your ear post and you want that to be stiff to go through your ear. This will be your post side, and then the other side that is going to be the part where the bead goes in, and also the coil goes around the same part. So this is your ear post. You can make that a little bit longer. I usually go to about a half an inch, but again, if it's too long, I can always trim it back. So just do one little loop in the center. And then use either your pliers if you want, and you can make it a little bit smaller because this is going to be the center of your coil. And when you're making your coil, you can use your pliers to hold on to the wire, and then you can start to guide the wire around. If you're going to do that, it may mark your wire, so you might want to just either tape your pliers, or you can use, if you like the nylon pliers, you can use them as well. So I'm just going to use my fingers, and all I'm going to do is start to coil it around that circle. Now, if you notice, I want the post part on the down side, and I'm going to coil on the top side. So this is the down side. That's where the post is coming out, and then I'm going to coil on the top. That way your earring will be the way you want it to be. And I can go in with my pliers anytime I like and just flatten out that coil to make sure it's nice and tight. So I'm just going to continue. So I'm just going to continue to coil around until I feel like I have enough. I've already made one earring, so I'm just going to gauge it against that coil, and make sure they're the same. Alright, so I think those are pretty close to the same, maybe a little bit more. And when you stop, you want to stop at the middle of your coil, wherever that is, and it's going to be on the opposite side of your post. So this is your post up here, and then you're going to stop at the middle. Now that you've done that, I find that about 2 inches is the right amount of wire. So I'm just going to measure about 2 inches out and trim it. If you prefer to coil around your bead more than that, you're more than welcome to do that. So you could just cut it a little bit longer. I'm just going to take my bead, and that's something you want to check whenever you're making earrings. You want to check your bead against your wire to make sure that they're correct, because this is going to require a bead that has a larger hole because you're making an ear post as well. So just put that right on the end of your wire, and then just take your chain nose pliers and just make a little bit of a hook in it, like that. And that's only to keep your bead on. You're not going to roll it this way. You're going to roll, so if you have a figure 8, it would be like that. So you're going to roll this way. And I'm just going to again use my fingers and just be gentle, because if you're working with crystals, they can get damaged. So just start to roll that bead. And you're going to continue to roll that bead in using your fingers until it comes right up to the coil. Now if you need to push down on the coil and push up on the bead so that it's pushed together a little bit more, you can certainly do that. It's your choice. And now at the back, start to push that post out. And when you're doing that, just make sure you hold onto your coil, because you don't want your coil to come undone while you're doing that. You can, if you want some extra stability, you can go in with some wire straightening pliers to straighten out this, but not just straighten it out. This is wire hardening it as well. And then it looks like the post is a little bit long, so I'm just going to check it against this one, and it's slightly longer. So I'm just going to trim that back. Now, just use my wire rounder just to and then just check that there's no pokes, and that's okay. So that would be your finished earring. The last thing you want to do now is put your earring backing on it. Just check your earring backing against your wire to make sure that they fit. So this concludes the tutorial. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. We'll see you next time. Thanks for coming. Bye for now.